Hello class, as some of you may know, my name's Ryan, and I'd like to talk to you guys about fixies, also known as a fixed-geared bicycle. Do any of you know what a fixie is? Well, what sets them apart from other bicycles is the fact that they have no drive chain they have a drive chain with no freewheel, an unusual technique to stop, and usually they have no brakes and a single speed. This constructs a bike whose pedals won't stop rotating unless you force them to using your weight and strength of your feet, causing the rear wheel to lock in place, allowing the bike to skid to slow down from kinetic friction. Oh, and all this makes it possible to go backwards, which is my favorite attribute of the fixie. In my opinion, the history of the fixie is not as interesting as its modern uses, so I won't bore you with the details. So I'll just dive deeper into the advantages and disadvantages. One of their main attractions is their low weight due to the absence of parts that would be in geared bicycles. So it's like kind of it's a much simpler bike. It's broken down. And it's also more mechanically efficient with less energy required to operate because it has most direct power transfer from rider to the wheels. However, the fact that many riders ride with no brakes is seen as a dangerous disadvantage. And also, there's no free wheel, so you should keep in mind that that's a limitation because, well, if you want to avoid receiving a kick to the trailing leg and possible loss of control. I must admit, I'm not proud of how many times that's happened to me, actually. Anyway, enough about me. So, I don't have enough time to go into detail about all these countries, so I'll just discuss the United States and Hungary, which is where my family is from. In the US, the use of any bike without brakes on public roads is illegal. However, some argue there's a way around it since the wording of the law is kind of vague. So basically what people say is the fact that you can stop using your feet, that basically means that there's a brake. Yeah. In Hungary, all bikes are required to be equipped. They're pretty strict. They want you guys to have 2 independent sets of brakes, front and rear lamps, reflectors, and a bell. I should have known about the law here because I bought a fixie a few years ago, so I would have been susceptible to a confrontation with the law or possibly gotten a ticket. But apparently I kept under the radar, so I'm not going to complain about that. I still have that fixie, by the way. I didn't bring it here, however, basically because of storage and practicality issues. Riding in the vast and expansive city in Los Angeles is much different than the denser city of San Francisco. So, just played it safe and decided to leave it at home. Okay, since I'm giving a speech on fixies, I should probably talk about the fixed-gear community, as it's just important in my eyes. Saying the fixed-gear community is quite broad since there are categories within it. So I took it upon myself to organize it into 3 categories. However, this is my interpretation. There could be more or less, depending on how you look at it. This is just how I kind of make sense of it and broke it down. There are the riders who focus on tricks, sort of like the recreational riders. There are the people who are track racers, possibly for exercise or their career. And there are the urban hipster youth types of people. Well, if you can't visualize what they may look like, don't worry, I got you covered on this next picture. Just think of the movie Premium Rush. I don't know why that always pops in my head, but it does. So yeah, if you just think of that mediocre movie with JGL, and if you are unfortunate enough to sit through that movie, maybe you'll agree with me when I say that the fixie community is kind of the hipster types are kind of almost a subculture. If you want to join this community, it's fairly easy. Just buy a fixie and rethink your fashion sense. Maybe, I don't know, if you're into looking like this, then maybe the fixie life is the life for you. I don't know. Not for me. Maybe after seeing that picture too, you can guess that they have a refined and specific taste in fashion. Professor Hunt wrote a piece on fixie culture where he made some keen observations, many of which are consistent with the pictures I'm about to show you. for the most part, this is what a stereotypical fixie rider is imagined to look like. And their image isn't the only thing they customize either. They have a similar approach to their bicycles. The spectrum is vastly varied. Some are over the top and others are very minimalistic in their look. From colorful to vintage, they do it all. But not everybody is built for the fixie life. There are specific people I'd recommend it to, like adventurous and athletic types. Mainly people who are looking to try something new and who are willing to deal with some scraped up calves, because that can get frustrating. But I'd like to say it's worth it. I mean, it's pretty cool to ride a bike in reverse. And there's some pretty cool pictures of Kanye West out there on fixies. Pretty funny.